Hello, and welcome to In the Words of a Sister, Unmasked. I'm so excited to be able to present on this stage some of the most amazing female poets. So please sit back and relax and enjoy. She says, I love to make up stories, and I love to act them out. I hope that my words, either spoken or written on a page, will either bless you or break you or both. So get ready to be blessed and broken by Tamitha Curiel.
All fall down, scooped out, picked over, scattered pieces, spread them out. Skin sharpens skin, hope aids, cope aids, makes the whole molecules, search them out. Here comes the way. Prepositions, proposition, how are we related? Into, out of, across, ahead, behind, right here. Show, don't tell. If you are torn, then I'm torn too. You wail, my throat hurts. You fast, I'm hungry. I thirst. You gnash your teeth, I chip my tooth. What are we but flesh and bone finding a home in the same cosmic heart? We were gonna make kites from grocery store bags, fly fast down snowy mountains, catch fish bigger than us, munch on strawberries we stole from Ree's garden, eat snow ice cream and hold hands while we fell asleep, weren't we? We were gonna swing until our heads were dizzy and play football at every holiday and raise fluffy little chickens, like lots of them, and only eat their eggs and have babies and name them made up names, weren't we? We were gonna play spoons till our fingers bled and dance on picnic tables in our cutoffs and smear our faces with lightning bug dust to pretend our Indian blood glowed, weren't we? We were gonna get nerd tattoos and drink pomegranate wine we made ourselves and lick salt off our wrists before we snuck a sip of our mama's beer. And somehow we were gonna find out that rainbows end at the base of our spine, weren't we? We were gonna ride waves that cross time zones and speak languages that only we understood and wrap ourselves in ribbon and dip our bodies in batter and bake out on the lawn and keep hoping that our blood wouldn't be cursed forever. Until someone came along and said, I'll have that one. And somebody else came along and said, that one's mine. And something else came along and said, I'll take that one. And then we'd know we'd have to let go, wouldn't we? Wouldn't we? The next poem is called Pink. It's about being a difficult woman. In my presence, the balance is upset. Sparks fly at inopportune times, tendrils stretch out in noisy curls, dandelion puffs float free from stems, the elements fluctuate. Fire pours from cracks unseen, water rushes into crevices thought filled in, terrain shudders. Clefts expand with no warning, bones turn, deforming limbs, hands rustle, air electrifies. Gadgets combobulate, machines zoom and spin, engines sputter and halt, smoke plumes. The balance is upset in my presence. First love song for my husband, married 30 years. Cleaving. I knew when suddenly I felt I'd missed something. The way your eyes opened so big and closed so soft before you fell asleep in someone's arms. The nuzzle of my skin in your baby neck. The indescribable urge to kiss your pudgy toddler hands, consuming. The light hitting your linen-lined face, alerting you to Saturday morning cartoons. The knowledge of every scar on your body. The lean of your arm on the bus ride home after marching at halftime. As we spoke, I was instantly jealous that I could not be your first date, but I daydreamed about it anyway. I wish I wish I could have known you always. Instead, my life tumbled into yours, and we fumbled into this love. Innocently, our flesh called out, and wickedly we replied, but it has been new and new and new again. I could never deny that you were mine. Never. You, born of your mother's womb, recovered with my own. Unsuicidal, unsurviving, with limited access to mental health care. I opened the medicine cabinet to brush my teeth. The ghosts of pill bottles stare back at me. They've been relocated to the kitchen. I wonder what the vitamins think of their new neighbors. The electric razor gossips to the vacant vanity shelf. I go to the kitchen counter to find a knife. They've been moved on up to the pantry in the sky. Hi! Witness protection program, no longer knives, but utensils. I open the dresser drawer to find my undies, and there in the corner is a hanky with the sigh of a metal dent. The absence of guns, the result of a teary-eyed plea. 50% more likely, 50% more likely, 50% more likely. And on nights like these when it's safe to feel nothing, I think of pouring the candies into my hand, dance them to the grooves to hide my lifeline, rewrite my history, my destiny by sinking them into me. But instead, I open the medicine cabinet and I brush my teeth. Dream girl, searching for God's love in man is futile. It's still worth it. Dream girl, did I know you when my eyes were fireworks, when my hair fell in triangles across my forehead, when my mouth was open wide and loud? You held your hand out and I put my heart in it. And you didn't make it beat, but it found your pulse, matched the rhythm. And it wasn't for you, it was because of you. And if mine hurried ahead some days, you never said too fast, too fast. And if mine couldn't keep up, you never said too slow, whoa, too slow. You just listened to it and you liked it. You shaped me into a continent, not to conquer, but to tend. You ran your hands through me, planted treasures, and I found them one piece at a time. And I wasn't overwhelmed, and I grew. Not for you, but because of you. And I grew flowers, sturdy petals like Ferris wheels, all color and light and unnamed, never named. You said, why name them? Just let them be. You formed me into a wide open sea. You swam in me, drank and ate of me, and you were full, but I wasn't empty. Giving was good and easy. And it wasn't for you. It was because of you. In time, I was ready to be the wide open sky. Clouds like dandelions floated in me. Silk spider webs thread through and through. Light was pouring. Pouring. You never tried to contain me. Why would you? You just breathed me in deep. You basked in the glow because it wasn't for you. It was because of you. And even if I were a flower pot on the windowsill or a patch of sky outside your jail cell or a ribbon of water bubbling in your backyard, you'd water me and grin at my growing. You'd grasp the bars and gasp for air. You'd cup your hand, dip into me and drink because you always knew that I was your dream girl. This is for my mom, who transitioned last year. I say since you left, you multiplied in power. Spirit says you didn't leave. I say my heart beats in my whole body. My neck a tributary, my head an ocean of blood, my hands and feet thirsty for flow. Spirit says fists work better when open, but we keep our fists in palms for grins. A harness for when the dam breaks and peace like a river tries to flow. A healing wand divining dry ground, lazy eye pierced through the mist. You and me, we beauty see, sweet beast. Best believe, mama, best believe. It's called Spaggle Sifter. It's about being refined by God. Rend bone, bone flesh, rib splice commune life, overturned old earth, fiery fossils explode in our eyes, dim, dim like light gone bad. How sad he suffered. Stretched strings undone, rendered, unsung, no tune unstrung, laid low, bared soul, heading in, out, in the door. You're wandering, my wondering. My wandering, your wondering. Broke loose, untrue, spoken sad, left for dead, now awake. No escape. Down bears the light, trembling drowns the numb. Be sifted, resifted, no backseat. Trick or treat. Treats a trick, makes us sick. What to do? Be undone. Rendered new.
She holds an MFA in poetry and nonfiction from New England College. She is a writer and an educator and a beautiful soul. Please welcome to the mic, Reverie.
This one is called Lot's Wife. Resentment is big enough to have its own shadow. When a corporation dies, there is no funeral. A diptych with the kids hinging them together. She is counting down the years again. Their arguments, they stretch over time and space like archetypes. The kids are exponents of memories. Their lives are emulsified by live wire fences. Summer-drunk wasps bang into the window at full speed. Heat is so pressing you doubt your existence. Pan-seared vapor rising from the horizon. Breathing pulls air into liquid visions. White ash, cotton thirst. The sun is venomous. She still thinks of him. She went back to him over and over. Each time she starts counting down the days. She tells her therapist about the ticking clock, the ass beatings, the extra baby that is not hers. He yells, "So what do you want?" She is so offended, she never goes back. Everyone is losing patience. Her mother-in-law says she needs to get over that baby. He calls her a victim. She is tired. She drinks too much wine. She doesn't sleep enough. She is a walking autopilot. Her eyes have half moons under them. She is losing weight and hair. She says she doesn't know what to do, but this is a lie. She wants to shed her skin, to peel it off in strips of flowered wallpaper, to pull it over her head like a sweater, to rise to the surface as if she had just dove. She doesn't want to carry this. When she tells them about the divorce, they cry from Tennessee to Texas. One wail, then another and another. In intervals, they slow into softer shudders before revving up like pneumatic engines. They want to know why. She is drowning inside of her Mazda. The wheels are spinning. The water has risen way past her breathing canals. She grips the steering wheel and pretends she isn't crying. The kids are strapped down by their seatbelts. They can't escape the writhing landscape smearing itself across the windows. She feels reptilian for doing this to them, for everything, the divorce, for choosing to tell them on the last 6-hour leg of a 30-hour car trip, for not trying harder. And then she feels angry that she has to be the one to tell them. Once again, he has become a myth. Forgetting is impossible, like people who leave dog excrement on the street. Leaves swarm like snowflakes in a squall. The air is Granny Smith crisp. The day is jigsawed like stained glass. Sharp edges have been soldered. The sky is striated, ascending from blush to bruise. She is serrated raw with the memory of him. What is there to trust when at any moment her hands can forget their commitment to her body and secede? Would the body wage war against itself? Boxes, flat sheets, disturbed heartbeats, from one moment to the next a reversible comforter, the imprint of her body on the vacant side of the mattress. He can still smell her shampoo, feel the warmth of her neck. He gets wrapped up in her hair like hours of silk wrapping wispy tendrils around his body. The more he struggles, the more her fingers cling to him. And so he combs her. He starts at the ends, gently teasing out the kinks, then slowly moves his way up the shaft until he is untangled. The days become more swallowable without him. The current carves its own bed, forgetting its former shape. She watches its mouth open, then close lazily from the outer banks. Tubers negotiate the gentle green rapids like platelets rushing to clot a wound. A small drop-off almost looks like a waterfall. She is almost over him. Rumination is the heroine of thinking. You fall in love with ghosts that would just as easily kill you even though you created them. There is no need for sacrifice. She winds herself up to glass-breaking notes and steps into the same old argument that loops around itself like a braided rug. It is as familiar as his body cupping hers, as her hands grasping water. She can hear his voice clear as a verdict. She rests her case on his shapeless form. Even when he's not here, he is here. Tightness in her chest runs a line to the back of her throat. Breath snaps back. She is both arrow and bullseye. This was their place, except it wasn't. She didn't know what was hers anymore. She'd never questioned her stock. How do you divide a memory? An overturned rock, a skittish monarch, grass worn away from the path, knife-glinted sun rising from wrinkles of river. Everything is as it seems, yet she knew nothing. He was in every leaf. He rose from every blade of grass. His face was in the bark of every tree. The overhanging willow arms shadow her like a lace dress. The air is statuesque. The roots of her hair are wet with sweat. Hunger has its own geometry. Proofs. The desire of one body, yet the curve of another. His skin folding over hers like origami. Bloodlines running infinitely in either direction. The stomach has no right angles.
She is a longtime Dallas spoken word artist who is diving into art and event curating under her own brand entitled Words Are Food. She is none other than the amazing poetry teacher.
Tell me, black girl, where you get all this big from? Black girl, Oshun, you be river wild. You be the most fluid among you, able to adjust and conform. Black girl, been chameleon, also known to sink into our own skin. Black girl, where you get all this gumption, all this gall? Black girl, you got some nerve. How dare you be your mother who may have lost her big, but that's where you got it from. Black girl, be chicon. Black girl, be femme poisson, beautiful sorcerer. You are Creole, black girl, the teacher and the creator. How you be God, black girl. How you be the apocrypha. How you be a Bible. Black girl, they see your mama in you, dozens in you. Black girl, they see, cut me a switch, go get me a belt. I'm gonna give you something to cry about. Black girls don't cry for each other. Black girl, you pretty for a fat girl, pretty for a black girl, too pretty to be gay. Black girl, know your place. You still ain't found your place here, huh, black girl? To Chiquisia Clemens, to a Tatiana Jefferson, to Rakia Boy, black girl, to what did you stop me for? To Sandra Bland, black girl, to Malaysia Booker, to translucent, too much of the sun. Black, like my skin color, is simply the attribute of a color by which it is discernible, meaning we all black, meaning everybody want us to be black, but don't want us to be black. Black girl. Our first kiss was in the airport. An airport kiss does sound romantic in most cases. I just imagined it different. I didn't imagine it would be abrupt and my top lip will be sweating from the walk to the shuttle. I didn't imagine I'd still be holding my duffel that put my head in this weird angle. I really just imagined it different. Now, don't get me wrong, all the kisses after had me with feelings of sappy, lightning bugs having meetings in my abdominal cavity. I mean, kisses that had placed an APB out on the parts of me that had gone missing. I'm just saying, the first one, I imagined it different. I imagined it would feel familiar, like you pretending to love me. We'd close our eyes and imagine I was who you really wanted. I imagined it would feel like my respect for you, how you stood at the bottom of a thing and welcomed chaos. I started seeing white flags instead of red ones. Daggers inside of hearts flutter around my brain, reminding me to attach myself to yet another thing I can't have. Reminds me of when my mom died on her sofa and we couldn't even touch the body. Reminds me of wanting to wake up dead things so they can love me again. Like finding her do not resuscitate order while I rummage through her former life as if she wasn't just sitting here. Reminds me of trying to resurrect potential even after you said I'm not looking for anything serious. In my last conversation with her, she said, when the mind isn't ready to go, the body has a hard time leaving. Reminds me of why I'm still texting my ex. When she went into a coma on the way to the bathroom, we sat her there until she snapped out of it. Reminds me of black girl magic. The doctor who pronounced her said she had no pulse, but her heart was still beating. Reminds me of being the strong friend. The doctor was her nephew. Reminds me of thick blood. Reminds me of friends ain't the only one that call you dead to them. When she described how the meds to take the pain of cancer away made her feel, she said it was ravishing like a fire on her insides. Reminds me of falling in love. Reminds me of staying with you long enough for you to be better for someone else. I really just imagined it different. I imagined I'd be here talking about the first kiss I had with you that maybe wasn't so bad after all. Maybe I'm ungrateful. Maybe first kisses are a privilege I don't deserve. Maybe I like the taste of my own blood. Maybe I've been an organ donor because I don't know where my heart is anymore. Maybe you've been pretending to love me all along, and maybe I don't know the difference.
I hope that you all enjoyed this program. The poets were amazing. I believe that words are just essential for the healing of our land, for the changing of the hearts. And do you know what else I believe? I believe that if we're going to stand together, then we need to stand together and kneel together. And by all means, pray together in whatever tongue is true to you. See, I believe that since we're in this thing together, then we need to do this thing together and teach our children to live, love, and lift one another and our elders. See, I believe that one should not be defined, or justice should not be given to someone just because the color of their skin. I believe that our hearts should sing songs that our souls confirm. And I believe that the truth, the real truth, is the truth. And I believe that we should all live our lives to touch, move, and inspire. I hope that you enjoyed all of the performances. Please give it up for our drummer, Mr. Lynn Barnett. Hope to see you real soon. Thank you.